ground.
Yeah, and I'm sure you must have felt such a big victory when you learned you were coming back. Also, like, how did that feel like? How did that happen when you learned you were coming back to Montreal?
Well, of course, I knew that there is a
contact.
campaign, and I was actually very touched by the student
Yeah.
campaign here. And the demonstration was, I only saw those pictures after I was in Montreal. I had no idea because I had no contact
Yeah.
with outside, and they wouldn't allow me to see my lawyer. But the day I was released was actually one of the more interesting, because the 2 nights before that they had taken me downstairs where the interrogation takes place, and they video me for about 5-6 hours, 3 hours each night, and they said that they wanted me to say that I regret what I've done, which I told them I haven't done anything illegal, and I don't regret it. And they said, there are 3 conditions. They said, if you agree for this thing, we can release you. On a diplomatic ground, not on the legal ground. But that I say that I regret what I've done, and that I don't start networking if I go back to Iran, and I don't research on women in politics. I told them I don't regret. I don't regret because I haven't done anything, and if I'm released, I continue doing the same thing because I'm a researcher, and I had never done networking in Iran anyway, and doing research on women in politics or any other subject is part of my academic freedom.
They really accused you for no reason.
So initially they wanted me to sign paper, but when I said it that way, they just continued discussing with me on the video, and I told them, I hope you don't edit this in a way that then it says what you want to say, because when you have 6 hours of videotape, you can always cut it in such a way that it says what they want to say rather than what I said. They said we never do that, but of course we know they do this kind of thing to justify what they have done.
And I know you were in contact also with your niece.
Well, I was in contact with my niece until I was taken in
Evin.
to Evin. Before that, we used usually Facebook or sometimes Skype to call, because I would go for interrogation, but I would come home in the evening, so we could chat. And also with my sister in London, I could chat, but the problem with the telephone was they were listening to all of our conversation. But at least I was in touch with my family, so that was interesting. But after I had the campaign and the fact that I was detained became a public knowledge after I was taken in, because before that I tried to keep it quiet and because I had hoped that, because I had done nothing that was illegal, so I had hoped that they would let me go without making it a big fuss, but I guess they had decided that they want to take me in, and they knew that probably there would be a campaign. Of course, I didn't expect the campaign to be quite as big as it is.
Yeah, with big events like that happening with you anyways.
And I'm still trying to digest, almost 6 weeks, less than 6 weeks now that I have been doing this, but I still, I keep reading and going through all the things people have written and all that, and I'm always overwhelmed with how much support it was for my release. The support came from a lot of us scholars were considered on the left, those who were more conservative, the Islamic academics and others, but also came from very diverse background. I had letters of support from Indonesia and Hong Kong and Korea and Pakistan and Afghanistan and Bangladesh and Sri Lanka and India, Turkey, Egypt.
That must have been beautiful to see, all this support that
and then I had support, of course, from a lot from Canada and for all the academic scholarly institution that I was part of, including my old university where I got my PhD. And so it was very, it is still very heartwarming to know that I had such a support. I mean, in some way, maybe Iranian wanted me to stop doing my research, but with their action, actually more people know about my research than they would have known if they had not arrested me.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm sure you started are you gonna start soon, or did you already start writing the research?
I have made some more notes, because of course most of my notes, except towards the end, I got newspaper and they had given my glasses back so I could read. But I have started some notes, but I'm hoping that as of next week I managed to clean my desk so that I can have a few hours of writing. So hopefully I will write. I'm still conceptualizing how I write my own interrogation, but also the other young women that
you met.
I met in jail.
And now to conclude, how do you feel right now? How are you feeling?
I mean, physically, of course, as you know, I was quite unwell, and they had taken me to hospital at some stage, and then back in the detention center. Physically, my lungs are not good, and sometimes when I talk like more than an hour or so, I lose my voice, which is a terrible thing for someone who has been lecturing. Like for 30 years of my life, I have lectured for 2 hours sometimes non-stop. Now I have to be careful how long I talk. Some days it's worse than others, but I'm hoping that in a month or two I regain my energy back, and I can start working better.
And mentally,
Mentally, I sometimes get a bit upset, and I can't understand and disappointed really with the way the academic freedom is so curtailed in Iran, and people can't express themselves. But then I also read all the things people write in Iran, that despite the fact that the state it's so repressive. But I mean, on balance, I think I am good. I mean, to know that so many people went out of their way to support me and to secure my release, especially the Canadian government and my colleagues and all these academic scholars. My student from many years ago, like I had letters from people who were my student in 2000 and in the 90s, and so that was also heartwarming. So in a way, I like to think that it balanced out. And so I try to focus on the positive things rather than thinking on the negative side. But I do hope situation in Iran changes, because there's lots to be done, and I hope social sciences get more space for people to discuss social issues and social problems, which there are many there, and also it opens up more to the international academia. I think that's for social sciences, it's rather depressing to see that people can write or read research that is available on the international public area.
All right.